Good evening, students. Welcome in new preparatory lecture in which we will solve mid-semester examination paper of second semester 2016-17 for the Math F113 Probability and Statistics. So hopefully it will useful for your preparation for the mid-semester examination. So let us start with the first question. A letter is known to have come either from the city Tatanagar or from the city Kolkata with equal probabilities. On the envelope of the letter, just two consecutive alphabets TA are visible. What is the probability that letter has come from Kolkata? So it is the question of conditional probability. So here, as I have told you in lecture, always we have to define first events and the random variable. So here we define the event A. Letter has come from the city Tatanagar, and B. Letter has come from the city Kolkata. Then after we define another event C. Two consecutive alphabets on the envelope are TA. So according to question, letter may come from any city with equal probability. So PA is equal to P of B is equal to half. And TA is only visible on the envelope. So probability of C given A means from the Tatanagar. So in the Tatanagar, you can see we have the two TAs, right? So any combination we can have. So total for the two character, total we have the 8 combination. T A A T T A A N N A A G G A A R and so on. So total we have the 8 combination. So out of the 8 we have the 2 TAs. So P of C given A will become 2 by 8. Similarly in Kolkata, the combination of the two character will be the K O O L L K K A A T and T A. So total 6 combination we have. So out of the 6, only one we have the combination of TA. So P of C given B will become 1 by 6. Now what is asked here, the letter TA is visible, right? TA is visible, then letter come from the Kolkata, means probability B given C. So by the Bayes theorem, probability of B given C can be written as probability of B intersection C divided by the probability of C. And by the total probability, P of C can be written as P of C given A into P of A plus P of C given B into P of B. And numerator can be written as P of B intersection C can be written as P of C given B into P of B. So here we have, so just you put the values of PB, P of C given B, PA and P of C given A. So you will get the required probability 2 upon 5. Now in the B part of question number 1, if a day is dry, the conditional probability that next day will also be dry is P. If a day is wet, the conditional probability that next day will be dry is Q. If Wn is the probability that nth day will be dry, then prove that Wn minus p minus q wn minus 1 minus q is equal to 0 for n greater than equal to 2. After proving this, if the first day is sure to be dry and p is equal to 0.75, q is equal to 0.25, find the value of the wn. So in this, we define the variable. The x denote nth day is dry, and let a1 a2 be the event that previous day n minus 1th day is dry or wet respectively. Means a1 denote n minus 1th day is dry and a2 denote n minus 1th day is wet. So p of x, it is given to you wn, because if the nth day is dry, it is given to you, we represent by the wn. So right here in the question it is given, and p of a1 is equal to wn minus 1, because a1 represent n minus 1th day is dry, and p of a2, that is the wet, means it is the complementary of dry 1 minus w of n minus 1. So by the total probability rule, if you have to compute the p of x, means nth day is dry, so what is the previous day depending over that. So if nth day is dry, given that previous day is also dry, into previous day is dry, so p of x given a1 into p of a1 plus p of x given a2 into p of a2. So by the total probability rule, so it is given to you p of x given a1 is p and p of x given a2 is q. In the question they have given that they have defined this p and q as a, if the day is dry, the conditional probability that the next day will also be dry is p. If day is wet, then the conditional probability that the next day will be dry is q. So here we have written, so px will be what, wn, p of a1 is what, wn minus 1 into p, plus p of a2 is what, 1 minus wn minus 1 into q. So it will become, so here we can write wn is equal to wn minus 1 into p minus q plus q. So if you take on this side, so it will become wn minus p minus q into wn minus 1 minus q is equal to 0. So here this function is defined for the means for the n greater than equal to 2, because for from the second day we can compute this. So now in the second part, it is given to you the first day is surely a dry, and p is equal to 0.75 and q is equal to 0.25. So 0.75 3 by 4, q is equal to 0.25, that is the 1 by 4. So we write here the value of p and q. So our relation will become wn minus 1 3 by 4 minus 1 by 4, that is my 1 by 2. So wn minus 1 by 2, wn minus 1 minus 1 by 4 is equal to 0. So this can be written as 4 into wn is equal to 2 into wn minus 1 plus 1 on both side, or this can also be written 2 into 2 of wn minus 1 is equal to 2 into Wn minus 1 minus 1. So when you solve, you will get the above equation. Now on both sides, multiply with 2 to power n minus 1. So on the left hand side of is equal to, it will become 2 to power n into 2 into Wn minus 1 is equal to 2 to power n minus 1 into 2 into Wn minus 1 minus 1. Now this Wn minus 1 you can write in terms of the Wn minus 2 by putting n is equal to n minus 1 in this relation. Then n minus Wn minus 2 can be written in terms of the Wn minus 3 by putting n is equal to n minus 2 and so on. So here we have the W2, right? W2, then that can be written in terms of the W1. So here using the recurrence relation, this will become 2 into 2 in 2 into W1 minus 1, and W1 is given to you as a 1 because it's surely it is dry. So W1 is equal to 1. So here when we put, it will give you 2 into 2 minus 1, that is the 2. So it will give you 2 into Wn minus 1 is equal to 2 upon 2n. 2 upon 2n. So Wn will become Wn will can be written as 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2 to power n. So this we have to determine, right? We have to determine the value of the Wn in the question. So here we have the value of the Wn, right? So in this question, just we have to determine find the value of the Wn. Now let us move to question number 2. A shipment of 8 similar microcomputers to a retail outlet contains 3 defective. So we have the shipment of 8 similar microcomputer to a retail outlet contains the 3 defective. So you can say here we have the total n items. Out of the n items, m items are defective. Now if a school makes a random purchase of 2 of these computer, so now we have purchased the 2 items. So let us say it is a small n. Find the probability distribution for the number of defective. Also compute the cumulative distribution function and moment generating function. So here, so first, what is the random variable here? So random variable denote number of defective computer purchased. So it is that computer. So naturally, it is the discrete random variable, and it can because school has purchased the 2 computer. So number of defective can be either 0, no defective, only 1 defective, or at most 2 defective. So x can take the value 0, 1, 2. So here the x follow hypergeometric distribution with n is equal to 8, m is equal to 3, n is equal to 2. So now we have to derive the PMF for the x or hypergeometric distribution. So for the x probability of x is equal to 0, it will become 3c0 into 5c2 upon 8c0. So total it will come 10 upon 28. Then after, if you take x is equal to 1, so probability of x is equal to 1, it will become 3c1 into 5c1 upon 8c2. So total 15 upon 28. Similarly, probability of x is equal to 2, it will be the 3c2 into 5c0 upon 8c2. So it will come 3 upon 28. So now we have derived the probability mass function for x is equal to 0, 1, and 2. So here you may confuse you may do this question wrongly by assuming the x follow the binomial distribution. So it is not a question of the binomial distribution. Means here you can say ki n is equal to 2 and p is equal to 3 upon 8. So then you can do by the binomial approximation. So here you cannot do the binomial because it is not satisfying the condition of the binomial distribution, right? It is a question of the hypergeometric distribution. So from here we can compute the value of the cumulative distribution function. So f of 0 means probability x is equal to 0. So 10 by 28. F of 1, probability x is equal to 0 plus probability of x is equal to 1, cumulative probability up to that point. So 10 by 28 plus 15 by 28, that is the 25 upon 28 or 0.893. And f of 2, probability of x1 plus probability at x is equal to 0 plus probability of x is equal to 1 plus probability for x is equal to 2. So 10 by 28 plus 15 by 28 plus 3 by 28. So that is equal to 1. Then after we have to compute the moment generating function. So moment generating function by definition it is expectation of e to power tx. So by definition we know that what is this? It is the summation e to power tx f into x for x is equal to 0 to 2. So here we write t to e to power 2 in t into 0, probability x is equal to 0 plus e to power t into 1 into probability x is equal to 1 plus e to power t into 2, probability of x is equal to 2. So and e to power 0 into t, that is the 1, and probability of x is equal to 0 will be the 10 upon 28. Then plus e to power t into probability of x is equal to 1 means 15 upon 28 plus e to power 2t into probability of x is equal to 2, that is the 3 by 28. So that can be written as 10 plus 15 e to power t plus 3 e to power 2t upon 28. So that is the moment generating function for the given distribution. So these things we have to compute in the question number 2e. Now in 2b, a bias 6 phase die is such that the probability that it gives 3 even number in 5 throws is twice the probability that it gives 2 even number in 5 throws. So here we have the here we have the bias die, means the occurrence of any outcomes are not equally likely, right? So what is the biasness? That it gives the 3 even numbers in 5 throws is twice the probability that it gives the 2 even number in 5 throws. Let y be the number of sets of 5 throws out of 2500 sets in which no even number appears. Find the expectation of the y. So let us have. So it is given to you probability of getting even number with unfair die be the p, and x denote number of even number obtained in 5 throws. It in 5 throws it can be 0, it can be 1, it can be all 5. So according to question, what is given to you? Probability of 3 even number is twice of probability of 2 even number. So probability x is equal to 3 is equal to 2 into probability x is equal to 2. And here the x follow the binomial distribution. Here you can say x follow binomial distribution with n is equal to 5 and p is equal to p. So it will give you 5c3 p to power 3 q to power 2 is equal to 2 into 5c2 p to power 2 q to power 3. So this can be written as P is equal to 2Q, and Q can be written as 1 minus P. So P is equal to 2 into 1 minus P. Or this can be written as 3P is equal to 2, or P is equal to 2 upon 3. So if P is equal to 2 upon 3, then Q will be the 1 by 3, right? As a complementary probability, so Q will become the 1 by 3. Now, probability of getting no even number means x is equal to 0. So probability x is equal to 0 is equal to 5c0 p to power 0 q to power 5, or it will be the q to power 5. So 1 by 3 to power 5, that is the 1 upon 243. Now, number of sets having no even number out of n is equal to 2500 sets. So that we have defined as a y, right? Y is the another random variable which denote number of the sets having no even number out of n is equal to 2500 sets. So what is the E of y? So E of y is what? N into probability of x is equal to 0. So this already we have computed, right? Probability x is equal to 0. So 2500 into 1 upon 243. So approximately it is 10.2875. So that is the second question. Then let us move to third question. Let x have Poisson distribution with parameter k. Derive ex and mean and variance using definition. Here you have not to use the moment generating function. So this question we have already covered in the lecture. Let us brush up here. So it is given to you x follow the Poisson distribution with parameter k, and so corresponding PMF probability mass function fx will become e to power minus k to power x upon factorial x for x is equal to 0, 1, 2. So if you have to compute the mean E of x, so by definition it is the summation x into fx. So summation from x is equal to 0 to infinity x into e to power minus k to power x upon factorial x. So here k to power x can be written as k to power x can be written as k into k to power x minus 1, and factorial of x can be written as x into factorial of x minus 1. So if you take the k and e to power minus k outside this summation, so k into e to power minus k summation now will start from x is equal to 1 to infinity. Why? Because here the x from numerator and denominator can be cancelled out. So we have only k to power x minus 1 upon factorial of x minus 1. So if you presume that let x minus 1 is equal to y, so it will become k e to power minus k summation of y is equal to 0 to infinity k to power y upon factorial of y. And this summation k to power y factorial of y is nothing, it is the exponential expansion. So e to power k, so k into e to power minus k into e to power k, that will be give you the k. So e of x is equal to k. Then after, for driving the variance, first we compute expectation of x into x minus 1. So what is the basic formula? Summation over x into x minus 1 into fx. So just you put the value of the fx, so summation x is equal to 0 to infinity x into x minus 1 e to power minus k k to power x upon factorial x. Now here k to power x can be written as k square into k to power x minus 2, and factorial x can be written as x into x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 2. So if you take k square and e to power minus k outside this summation, and x into x minus 1 you can cancel from the numerator and denominator. So we have only k to power x minus 2 upon factorial of x minus 2. And here the summation will start from the 2. So summation from 2 to infinity k to power x minus 2 upon factorial of x minus 2. So if you put x minus 2 is equal to y, so our expression will reduce to k square e to power minus k summation y is equal to 0 to infinity k to power y upon factorial of y. And this summation is nothing, it is the expansion of exponential. So k square e to power minus k into e to power k, so it will give you k square. Now for the variance, you know, we have to compute the e of x square. So e of x square can be written as x square minus x plus x. Means if you subtract and add the x, there is no problem. Now from the first two, if you take the common x, so it can be rewritten as expectation of x into x minus 1 plus x plus x. So here the expectation follow the linear property. So e of x into x minus 1 plus e of x. So e of x into x minus 1, just now we have computed as a k square. So k square plus k. So e of x square, e of x square is equal to k square plus k. So variance of x is equal to e of x square minus square of ex, square of ex. So e of x square is k square plus k and square of k. So we k square and k square will cancel out. So we have only the k. So variance of x is equal to k. Right? Variance of x is equal to k here. We have. So here we have the first part of the question number 3. Now next, in the question number 3b, the time of order of shirt from a manufacturer is known to have gamma distribution with a mean of 20 days and a standard deviation of 10 days. So it is given to you the time of order, follow the gamma distribution with mean 20 and standard deviation 10. Determine the probability of receiving order within 5 days of placement date. So here let x denote time delay, means time for receiving the order. So it is given to you x follow the gamma distribution, and for the gamma distribution we have the two parameter. So we assume the alpha and beta. So x follow the gamma distribution with parameter alpha and beta, and it is given to you mean is equal to 20 and variance is equal to 100. Variance is equal to 100 or standard deviation is equal to 10. It is given to you standard deviation is equal to 10, so variance will become the 100. And for the gamma distribution, mean is equal to alpha beta and variance is equal to alpha beta square. So alpha beta is equal to 20, alpha beta square is equal to 100. So on solving these two equations, you will get alpha is equal to 4 and beta is equal to 5. And we know the expression of PDF of the gamma distribution f of x right? For the parameter alpha beta is equal to 1 upon beta to power alpha gamma of alpha x to power alpha minus 1 e to power minus x upon beta x greater than 0. So fx is what? CDF. So CDF up to that point, integral up to that point we have to do. So integral 0 to x, right? Integral 0 to x 1 upon beta to power alpha gamma of alpha x to power alpha minus 1 e to power minus x upon beta into dx. So here we have computed the alpha is equal to 4, beta is equal to 5. Just you put the value, you will get the integral 0 to x 1 upon 5 to power 4 gamma of 4 x to power 4 minus 1 e to power minus x upon 5 into dx. So that is 1 upon gamma of 4. Gamma of 4 is what? Factorial of 3, that is the 6, and 5 to power 4, integral 0 to 5, 0 to 5 e to power minus x upon 5. Means here they have asked in the question, determine the probability of receiving an order within the 5 days. Within the 5 days. So here we have taken x is equal to 5, right? X is equal to 5. In this line, here we have taken the x is equal to 5. So integral 0 to 5 x square x not x square, x cube. It is the x cube. So x to power 3 e to power minus x upon 5 into dx. So when we integrate by part, right, and putting the upper limit and lower limit, you will get the 0.01899. So here, if you have the gamma table for the these alpha and beta, then directly from the table also you can write. Now let us move to the question number 4. So let x be normal random variable with parameter mu and sigma. Let y is equal to e to power capital X. Derive the density of the capital Y. If mu is equal to 0.8 and sigma is equal to 0.1, find the probability that y lie between 2.7 and 3. So first the given given distribution for the x is the normal variate. Then we have defined the function of the random variable as y is equal to e to power x. Then you have to determine the PDF of the y, and then you have to determine the value of the required probability. So it is given to you y is equal to e to power x. So if you have to compute, right here, this relation is given to you, function of the random variable. So if you have to compute y less than equal to y, so capital Y is what? E to power x less than equal to y. If you take natural log on both sides, so x less than equal to ln of y for y greater than 0, then only natural log function is valid. Now for y greater than 0, if you compute f of y means CDF, right? F of y means we are computing the CDF. So CDF is what? Probability y less than equal to y. And for the probability y less than equal to y, just now we have derived, it is what? Probability x less than equal to ln y. So it is what? It is the fx CDF for the random variable x up to the ln y. And for y less than equal to 0, f of y or probability of y less than equal to y, we have to take 0. Then after we have to compute the, ultimately we have to compute the PDF. So we know that PDF means f of y is nothing, it is the derivative of the CDF. For the y greater than 0, PDF is nothing, it is the derivative of the CDF. So dy of fx of the ln y, right? F of y, just now here we have derived the fx, f of y is equal to f of x at ln y. So now when we take the derivative of this, so it will become 1 upon y fx of ln y, and x is what? It follow the normal distribution. So the PDF f of y will become 1 upon root of 2 pi, right? 1 upon y into fx. Fx means PDF of x, right? With variable ln y. So in place of the x, just you have to write the ln y. So 1 upon root of 2 pi into sigma e to power minus x minus mu square upon 2 sigma square. Generally, we have the formula. So in place of the x, you write the ln y. So that will be the PDF for the y. So in the first part, they have asked this only. Now in the second part, they require the value of this probability that y lie between 2.7 to 3 when mu and sigma are given to you. Mu as a 0.8 and sigma as a 0.1. So here the required probability is probability of y between 2.7 to 3. If you take the ln on both sides, so ln of 2.7 less than ln of y less than ln of 3, and ln of y we can write as a x. So probability ln of 2.7 less than x less than ln of 3. So probability ln of 2.7 minus point because x follow x follow the normal distribution with parameter mu and sigma, and mu and sigma are given to you as a 0.8 and 0.1. So probability ln of 2.7 minus 0.8 upon 0.1 less than z less than ln of 3 minus 0.8 upon 0.1. So if you solve, it will become phi of 2.9 minus phi of 1.93. So when you see the tabular value, it is the 0.9981 minus 0.9732, or required probability will be the 0.0249. So that is the question number 4A. So in this question, mainly we have to see how to write the function of the random variable, how to deal with the function of random variable. Now, last question 4B. So a prescription drug made by a pharma company recovers a particular disease 70% of time. A drug regulation agency takes a feedback from 60 random patients using prescription drug and decide to ban the drug if less than 45 of these patients report recovery from the particular disease. If we have the less than 45 recovery out of the 60, then the company will not allow that company to sell the drug, and warn the company if at least 45 and at most 50 of these patients report recovery from the particular disease. So just they give the warning, and they accept when we have more than 50 out of the 60. Find the probability that pharma company will be warned, means number of recovered will be between 45 to 50 by the drug regulation agency using normal approximation. Justify your approximation. So here we have, let x is equal to number of patients out of 60 who report the recovery from the disease, and uh, recovery proportion is given to you as a 70%. So when the recovery proportion is given to you as a 70%, so probability is the 0.7. So x follow the binomial distribution with parameter n is equal to 60 and p is equal to 0.7. Right? X follow binomial distribution with parameter n is equal to 60 and p is equal to 0.7. So as we know, when we do the approximation, when p greater than 0.5, then n into 1 minus p, we have to check. So n is 60 and 1 minus p is 0.3, so it is the 18. If 18 is greater than the 5, then only we can do the approximation. So that is the reason for the that is the justification for the approximation. So here it is written can be approximated by the normal variate y. When we take the normal variate, so parameter we take sm as means mu and variance sigma square, we take whatever the mean and variance of for the binomial distribution with parameter mu is equal to np, that is the 60 into 0.7, that is the 42, and variance is what, npq 60 into 0.7 into 0.3. So from here you can write the sigma. So sigma, this will implies the sigma is equal to 3.55. Now we have to determine the probability that number of recoverer will be the between 45 to 50. So x between at least 45, at most 50. So x lie between 45 to 50. So when we have to do the approximation, it is mandatory to apply the half unit correction. So it is equivalent. It is equivalent to 45 minus 0.5 less than equal to y less than equal to 50 plus 0.5. So it will become probability of 44.5 less than equal to y less than equal to 50.5. 50.5. Now y follow the normal distribution with mu is equal to 42 and sigma is equal to 3.5. So it can be reduced, y can be reduced to standard normal distribution by subtracting the mean and divide by the standard deviation. So probability of 44.5 minus 42 upon 3.55 less than equal to y minus mu upon sigma less than equal to 50.5 minus 42 upon 3.55. So on solving, you will get probability that z lie between 0.70 and 2.39. That can be written as phi of 2.39 minus phi of 0.70. So it will become 0.9916 minus 0.7580, or the required probability will be the 0.2336. So here we have seen the solution or the procedure to solve the different question which came in the mid-semester examination of Math F113 Probability and Statistics in the second semester of 2016-17. So hopefully it will be helpful for your preparation. So please give your valuable feedback in the comment box. Thank you. Best of luck to all of you.